Hey everyone, this is Arlene. I have a card I want to share with you today. I'm happy to announce that I've been asked to come back to join La La Land Crafts as guest designer for the months of February and March, so I'm super excited about that. Thank you, Arena, for asking me to come back. I have such an amazing time playing around with La La Land Crafts, Marci and Luca stamps. They're like two of my favorite images, and I could not get enough of them, and I still can't get enough of them. And there's so many new designs available. You guys, if you haven't been to the La La Land Crafts website, check it out, and I'll have the link listed below. But today what I'm sharing with you is an easel card, and this is part of the Friday Inspiration Challenge for this week. And the challenge obviously is to create an easel card. And I will show you exactly how I put the easel card together at the tail end. There are a lot of videos up on YouTube, but I thought I'd just plug along just a short little tutorial on how I put the easel card together. So what you're looking at here is Heart Balloon Marci, and she's so adorable. I actually have a digi image of her, and this is what she looked like before I colored her up. She's so adorable. She has a balloon. I did pop up the balloon on dimensionals, the little heart, which was a really fun thing to do. And I actually paper pieced her. And how I did that with the digi image, and again, there are tutorials up on YouTube that show you how to do this, is I print the image up first, and I use my paper tray ink white cardstock to color up my images. So I print directly using a Canon printer. I print up directly, and I try to get my image as close up to the corner as possible. And then what I do is I take some computer paper and I adhere down with some removable dado on the back. I layer down the paper, and you can see where I cut her out. But I adhere down the design paper exactly where she was positioned when I put the paper tray ink paper into the printer. So I just try to kind of eyeball it, and I put the design paper where I think all of the pieces that I want to paper piece will fall, and then I just run this through the printer and just reprint her. So basically she prints on the white cardstock, and then she prints again right on the design paper, and then I just go in and paper piece. So that's the best way that I've found to paper piece digital images. So that's how I did that. And so just a little bit about my card itself. So again, this is Heart Balloon Marci, and she's so adorable, you guys. And the sentiment that I'm using comes from another stamp set called Cupid Marci, and it says Hugs and Kisses, and I cut that out using an MFT Dynamics die, and I added some Recollections bling on here. The paper collection that I'm using is called Bird Song, and it is by First Edition Paper, and it's a really cute paper pad. It comes in 8x8, and it has a whole section of glittered papers, dimensional embossed papers, and then on the back side of the paper pad comes die cuts and flat double-sided papers. Okay, when I say flat, meaning that they're not embossed or glittered or anything, but they are double-sided. So it's a really fun paper pad, really cute papers called Bird Song from First Edition Paper. All right, and on the cover I have an I Am Roses G3 gardenia. I took off the sprays and I added a ribbon buckle with flat back pearl, and that's actually what I'm using too to hold my card down open. I have some I Am Roses flowers here, the rosebuds, and then I have more of the ribbon buckles, and then I punched out these leaves using my Martha Stewart punch. And then it just opens up like that, and I can write a little note in there. And I put mine together a little differently, and I'll show you exactly how I did the easel card. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper, and you can use one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock to achieve this, but you're going to get a piece of cardstock cut at 8.5 by 4 1/4. And then you're going to need a square piece, which is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then what I do is just take my score pal. Again, there's tutorials up on YouTube land on how to do this, but just showing you guys. So you're going to put it on your score pal, and you're going to have it at the 8.5 cut side, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 6 3/8, and there's actually a little guide on the score pal to get you 6 3/8. Okay, so and then what you do is you fold this down so it folds the cardstock in half. So you fold it at the 4 1/4 score line, And what some people do is they fold it back this way. Okay, let me show you what happens when you fold it back this way. So when you fold it back this way, so it looks like this, you then get your 4 1/4 piece of cardstock and you would adhere it down this way, okay? So then your easel card would come up like this. I do the exact opposite because I like my cards. My cards are pretty heavy at the bottom. They're weight heavy. So I like the base to sit like this. So this is how I made mine. So this is how my easel card sits, if you guys can see that. So again, let me show you again. You can have it this way, and you can have your easel card sit this way. And I believe this is how they have the tutorial up on YouTube from Stampers from Split Coast. But I put mine together this way. Okay, so what you want to do to get that together is you want to use score tape or red line tape because you don't want your card falling apart on whomever you give it to. Okay, so I like to use the score tape or red line versus using my ATG. Okay. Okay, and then what I'll do from that point is just add my base. Okay, so that's basically how I create it, and you just have to make something on the bottom here like I did on my card to hold the card up, as you can see. Okay, so I'll probably just, you know, put a border or something like that, and you can pretty much eyeball it wherever you want it. It doesn't have to be, if you want your card a little bit at an angle, you can set it here, or you can set it in the middle so your card's a little bit more upright. So, but that's basically how I created my easel card. Again, this is Heart Balloon Marci, and be sure to participate in the Inspiration Challenge for your chance to win some nice prizes from La La Land Crafts. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!